checkered flag. Hell yeah. Mile and a half, 2 miles, 2.5, it doesn't matter. I'd tell you how to get to victory lane, but I'm sure you know.
It's a once-a-year trip for NASCAR to this part of the country. Just up the road from San Francisco, one of the most scenic cities in America, is the first of 2 road course races of the season. Denny Hamlin and the number 11 team are up for it. They come into this weekend on a roll with 2 wins in a row and all the confidence in the world. Kevin Harvick is still your points leader, but if there is a place to lose ground, this is it. The wine country of Sonoma, California provides a breathtaking backdrop for race number 16 of the season. It's a whole different beast. Right turns on the left coast, road course racing at Infineon Raceway. Discipline, patience, and strategy. Someone will celebrate in victory lane, and someone will be heartbroken about a plan that didn't work out. On this Father's Day, one driver will be saying, "Who's your daddy? Because I am king of the road." Welcome everyone to NASCAR Race Day on Speed on a beautiful sunny day in wine country. We are set for road course racing at its finest at the Infineon Raceway. Yeah. Good morning everybody, glad you're with us. I'm John Roberts alongside of the champ, Darrell Waltrip and Hermie Sadler. KP and Kenna Wallace are off, but we're glad to have you guys with us. You can't ask for much more than this. A beautiful sunny day, road course racing.
It's a beautiful day, and you know what I love about this? It's different. You know, you go to an oval and you get all locked in there. Here, baby, it's let the rough side drag. You know, every now and then you might even get up on the race course. You know, some of these guys are going to figure out today this thing is actually paved.
And we saw Kyle Busch in practice. He went on the grass and didn't even lift.
You know what? And I never really understood why the teams and drivers don't look at this more of a wild card race. It's kind of a laid back, you know, wine country mentality. But this is a racetrack, champ, that if you make a mistake, can really be costly. 36 cars finished on the lead lap last year. You got to be on it on the racetrack. And your crew chiefs, when do we pit? What's the strategy? Takes a complete team effort today.
Well, it is a different kind of race. There's no question about it. And certainly anytime you're going the wrong way, and that's basically what we do out here. You know, we're used to going left. Here we're going to go right and left, more rights than left. Shifting gears. I mean, that's really the art of road racing. Who can really match those gears up, get that car down in the corner, slow it down with the brakes and the gears, and not wheel hop, pop, 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 pop. That'll tear the gears up, and you're out of the race. So a lot of elements to road racing that we don't deal with on an oval.
And even though it's a new week, the dust still hasn't really settled from a so-called late race caution last weekend.
No, Denny Hamlin is still, I mean, absolutely convinced that the last caution at Michigan was, shall we say, orchestrated. That he didn't see any debris on the track, and he keeps, you know, he's sticking to his story. You got to look at who it helped and who it hurt. It helped Casey Kane, and who said they saw the debris? Casey Kane. Yeah. And who did it hurt? Denny Hamlin, who said there wasn't anything. So that's just typical NASCAR racing. They don't throw cautions unless they have a good reason to.
Hey, but that was last week. This week, DW, it's a better than average chance that we will have a caution at the end of this race, and there'll be no trouble finding the debris on the racetrack or crossbun, because the end of these road course races, especially here at Sonoma, get wild. And you don't want to turn away until this thing takes the checkered flag.
Just under 2 miles of pavement on this long and winding road that is Infineon Raceway. Let's now check in with Wendy Venturini. Good morning, Wendy.
Good morning, Johnny. Good afternoon to those on the East Coast. Happy Father's Day to you guys on the set, to everyone and watching NASCAR Race Day, including my own father. One thing I love about wine country, well, of course, the wine. Usually, I haven't had any wine this time around, but nonetheless, the drivers in the garage area, the team members, everybody is a little bit different when we come to Infineon Raceway. I don't know if it is the wine when we come here, but it's the ambiance of this track. and of this city that brings everyone a little bit more relaxed stage. Another thing that's cool about coming to Infineon is we get to see a lot of drivers run up front that we don't normally get to see at some of our short tracks and cookie cutter tracks. When we come here to the road course races, we see, like guys had talked about Hermie Souther with Marcus Ambrose. Marcus Ambrose is going to be strong. He is very, very fast. He has a ton of experience on these road course races. He finished third here last year. Now, folks, he was faster than most cars all weekend long. He qualified 6th, not the greatest qualifying effort according to Marcus Ambrose because his car was so much faster than that. But Marcos is going to be fast today. He's just one of the guys you want to look out for on these road course, including what we call the road course ringer. So Johnny, lots of action to watch when we turn left and right today in Sonoma.
Wendy, thanks a lot. This is race number 16 of the season. That means we are 10 races away from the cutoff. With that in mind, let's take a look at the championship standings. 22 points separate Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick. And we're not saying that by any means Kevin Harvick's going to have a bad day. But if there's a racetrack you can lose points at, it's here.
Well, like Hermie said, I mean, 36 cars finished on the lead lap here. One miscue late in the race here. If you run out of gas up at the top of the, up there at turn 4, turn 7 area, you're done. If you pit wrong, you're done. If you tear up the gearbox, you're done. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong here that could really have a big, big effect, not just on our top guys, but those guys down there in 12th place as well.
Mark Martin, DW, holding on to that 12th spot in the points. Clint Boyer, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Ryan Newman, a lot of guys chomping at the bit, trying to maybe take advantage of some other guys having some misfortune and get back in that top 12.
So roughly speaking, you can go all the way back to David Ruderman, and that's only one race worth of points that separates those guys 19 through 13 and getting into the chase.
Oh, yeah, and that's right now it's still too early to tell, I think. I know by now that the field is usually set. You can kind of predict who's going to be in, who's going to be out. But if somebody's going to get in, my question is, who are they going to knock out? Because there's some really good cars up there in that top 12 right now. So if you're going to get in the top 12, you got to knock out a pretty good team.
Yeah, and the guys, you know, the Roush Fenway guys, they've been consistent. I tell you, Matt Kenseth, Greg Biffle, and Carl Edwards have all done a great job getting good finishes with average race cars, Darrell. But they can't afford to have the 36th place finish that, say, a Denny Hamlin or Jimmy Johnson can because they're not running fast enough to win yet.
Here's an oh, by the way for you. Oh, by the way, this is a great payback racetrack.
Oh, yeah.
That's not going to happen. Come on.
Joey Logano, you know, Kevin Harvick.
Well, we shall see.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Got to throw it out there.
After a weekend in wine country, these race fans are medicated and motivated for road course racing at Infineon Raceway. We got a great day coming up and a great edition of NASCAR Race Day from wine country coming to you. There's your pole-sitting car. More on him when we come back.
Conspiracy theories and NASCAR go together almost as well as racing and wine. We'll take you back to '91 when the leader crossed the finish line first, but somehow ended up outside victory lane.
We're sitting in victory lane, and here comes Ricky trying to get into victory lane.
I don't understand it. Never in my life seen anything like it.
It's the only time I remember in the sports history that a win was actually taken away from the winner.
They're going to take this race back away from y'all. They're not going to let this happen.
Around the turn, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
NASCAR Race Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Brought to you in part by the General Automobile Insurance Services. For the best car insurance rates in town, call 1-800-GENERAL now. And by Camping World. The Camping World Destination Recreation Sweepstakes is back and better than ever. Camping World is offering more prizes and more chances to win. Visit campingworld.com and enter today.
2010 may go down as the year of the temper, at least so far. When you go back to Atlanta, Brad Keselowski and Carl Edwards, well, they showed their tempers on the track. Kyle Busch at Charlotte Motor Speedway after the All-Star event, he showed how he felt afterwards, and after the Coke 600 as well, he was yelling with the veteran Jeff Burton. Joey Logano got into it as well with Kevin Harvick. But you know, when it comes to racing on the road course, tempers are nothing new.
Today, from the wine country of the Sonoma Valley of Northern California. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bob Jenkins, and welcome to Sears Point, a demanding 2.5-mile road course.
I remember Sonoma, we had an awfully good race car. And we were actually leading the race with about 2 or 3 laps to go.
The question is, can Rudd catch Davey Allison?
Every time we went to Sonoma, we always had a good run out there. I remember we were always competitive, and we got fresh tires, and we were coming through the field and made up ground and worked our way back up towards the front with just, a few laps to go. I didn't know if we had enough time to catch Davey. We were running out of time, and I just remember we were coming up on the white flag lap.
Allison leads Rudd down through the S's. It's Dave Marcus just ahead of Davey.
We got hung up behind Dave Marcus, who was actually a lap-down car in the 71 car, and it held Davey up just enough that Ricky Rudd was able to get to our rear bumper.
In the Rudd is there. Owens! Davey Allison is spun.
And I remember coming into turn 11, and I got to really go hard, so that was the one of the big passing points was in the brake zone coming into turn 11. So I basically came in there really hot, out of control, committed to going as deep as I could. And we touched, and Benny did sort of a half spin and got it gathered up, came right in behind me, came around, took the white flag.
Davey got going and got back in line. They had a big enough lead on the rest of the field that we fell back in second behind Ricky, but all of a sudden Robert Yates, who monitored NASCAR, said they're not going to give Ricky Rudd the win. So tell Davey he's the leader of the race.
And Ricky Rudd is going to receive the win of the Banquet Frozen Foods 300. Here he comes, waving to the pit crew as he passes by. The black flag is shown to Ricky Rudd. Rudd is shown the black flag. Davey Allison is shown the checkered flag.
Instead of seeing a checker flag, I saw a black flag. And I'm thinking, what? And I've never seen that before, and what's going on here?
They shouldn't have thrown the black flag. They just should have thrown the BS flag, because that's what that was. Those guys got into each other, right, wrong, or indifferent. It's happened 20 million times in NASCAR history, and they've never done anything about it except one time, one single time.
We're not going to say a word. We're going to enjoy this victory. We're going to celebrate. We're going to go through post-race inspection. If we go over there and start staking our claim, that means we're making a statement that we're doubting that we won the race. We just need to go through the motions and do everything just like we took the checkered flag first and we won the race.
I'll never forget after the race how Waddell and Waddell's son, they didn't take it very well, and they actually had words with the Francis, and it was very heated for those guys. I mean, it was a lot of pushing and shoving and screaming and yelling.
I don't understand this. I've been racing since '63, and this is about one of the calls I've seen made in a long time. And if they're going to take this away from us, this is totally wrong. I've seen it happen time and time again through the years, and they've never taken a race from no one yet doing this. If they do this, this is rotten.
I guess probably when he said he was ready to quit and give it up, it hurt. I mean, you live, breathe, sleep racing, and you live for those days to contend for a win, and then it's just like somebody ripped your heart out. And I know where he came from. I was right there with him. I was ready to do the same.
It was an accident. I got into Davey. It was my fault, yeah. He was a lead car, and I got into him. But I didn't get a black flag until a white flag lap, and I don't know. I just fed up with this mess.
NASCAR felt that they had to do something. They made the decision. I'm sure they were all up there discussing it, bantering back and forth. What do we do? He just took this race from Davey Allison, legally or illegally.
Under race procedures, where penalties are imposed during the contest or in this incident after the contest is over, it's a non-appealable, non-protestable decision. It's final.
It was their ball game and their rule book, and he didn't want any conversation. It was Davey's win, and that was it. I don't think we probably found out till the next morning that he said we finished second.
I think the amount of time that it took to get around the road course probably was a factor.
The length of the time it takes to run a lap at Sonoma gives them plenty of time to determine what it is they're going to do. And so they must have stewed on it somewhat when they made the final call. Even with that length of time, if you look at the incident, it didn't look like anything different you've seen in that turn at Sonoma so many times. I mean, would they determine the flagrancy while the lap was going on? I don't know. I haven't seen it since.
That was, I don't know how many years ago, 20 years ago, whatever it was a good while back. It's water under the bridge now, so, all in all, it was a great career for me, and I'm just thankful that I had the chance to compete and compete at the top level. But that was one day out of many, out of 900 races.
And what an interesting call that was, and the finish. I remember watching that race was you know, glued to the TV watching those guys. I remember Dave Marcus coming through the S's, giving Davey a chance to get to the back bumper. Ricky Rudd get to the back bumper of Davey Allison. But my question to you, champ, we've seen this at Bristol. We've seen it at every other short track. And let's just face it, this is like a short track. Why on the last lap did they make that call on a place on the racetrack that we've seen that kind of contact lap after lap, year after year?
I don't know. They took the win away from me, and I don't know what I can't protest. It's non-reviewable. Look, it's a lot like that baseball game you were watching not too long ago when the kid obviously threw a no-hitter.
Yep.
But a bad call by a referee, an umpire in this case, cost him a no-hitting ball game. It was obvious with a replay. You know, that's the thing about officiating. They're humans. They're balls and strikes. I've heard this lecture a million times. It's just like an umpire standing behind the plate. You see it as a ball, I see it as a strike. They saw that as something they needed to do. And what we don't know as fans and what we may not remember was what led up to that. Was there incidences that were leading up to that situation with Ricky Rudd? Maybe not with Davey Allison. Maybe Ricky had gotten on the wrong side of NASCAR somewhere back down the road.
Yeah.
And we remember I told you this was a great payback track? That could have been a payback.
Could have been a payback from somewhere else. Yeah, who knows?
But have we seen that since then either?
Oh, no. It was a very controversial call. And without being involved in the debate about what they should do about it, I have no reason. I have no idea why they did that. I'm sort of like Kyle. Throw a BS flag on that. But that was the old NASCAR. Old NASCAR. Yep. New NASCAR, have at it, boys!
Yeah, there you go. That's good news. Now, normally when you see Kyle Petty and Rutledge Wood on speed, they are whining because they don't know the answers on NASCAR Smarts. But this time they are out in wine country, and they give us a tour of one of the vineyards.
Hey, you! Hey, friend! Wine! Oh. We're just up the road from the racetrack in Kenwood, and we're at the Kaz Winery today, and we're going to learn all about wine and how it tastes and how you make it.
And how it tastes.
I don't drink a lot of wine. That's what you're...
And how it tastes.
Okay. You're the expert?
And how it tastes.
Let's get started. So wine tasting's really big out here. What are we starting with first?
We are starting with a Petit Syrah.
And is that like a miniature Syrah, or what is?
It's like those little airplane bottles.
Oh,
and that's what it is. It comes in those little airplane bottles.
So what do I do? Do you just?
You have to. Oh, that's nice. Would you like to taste? Let's taste.
Okay, just a sip.
Just a sip.
Next up is what?
I think it's the Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, really?
Yes, I think so.
Now this is another red wine.
Another red, yes. This is the Kaz Vineyard. Gotta twirl it.
Swirl.
Twirl.
To get the legs. Is that right? What are
Needs to breathe. Needs to breathe. But this bottle's been open for a little while, so it's been breathing. How's it smell?
It smells nice.
Yes, it does.
A lot of different aromas. Is that the right thing to say?
Yes. Very aromatic.
Aromatic
is like a wine.
It doesn't smell like Boone's Farm at all.
No, it does
smells
not.
Like,
it smells. This is
nice
good stuff, man. You can't be. Don't be throwing names like that around.
Only time I've ever had wine was
in a
gas station parking lot.
Taste.
Okay. So Kyle, what is this one?
This is the port. This is the dessert wine. It's a white port.
Really?
Yes, it was very nice, very nice. We had this a little bit earlier, so very nice.
What's it remind you of?
Jimmy Spencer, because this is like after dinner. This is after dinner. This is when you're kicked back. You know, when you're kicked back and Elsie's running around the house and, you know, poor Ray.
Sitting in my library.
Sitting in your library, listening to your classical music and having a good time. This is where you would be right here. Wow.
So I was looking at you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, Kyle, we've tasted some wine.
Yeah, we have.
And now I think it's time to make our own. And this is where all the magic happens. This is a wine press.
It can't be that hard.
It can't be. I mean, we tasted some great stuff. I think it's time we go in and make Kyle and Rut's racetrack wine.
I'm with you on that. Lucy and Ethel did it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw.
Now, here's basically how it works.
Okay.
We take all these grapes, drop them in here.
Okay, let me give me a few to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go.
Then we just need to squash them. Wine comes out, I think.
How long we got to squash them?
I think it's got to sit here for like 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2-hour show, dude.
Oh.
What are we gonna do?
What a couple of cork dorks. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, much more from wine country in Sonoma, and we're going to talk about some of the road course ringers that come here and try to knock the Cup champs off the pedestal.
What would NASCAR be without family ties? We've got a who's who of famous father-son pairings and some unforgettable moments.
And they have enough lead, I believe it is going to be a battle between the father and son.
Straight ahead, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
You know, when it comes to speed fantasy racing right now, Team Race Day isn't doing that well, but I'm going to tell you why that's going on. We are experimenting with setups for the chase, okay?
Baby.
We're going to be ready for the chase.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay, well, that's at least our story, and we're going to stick to that one. But
I think I've heard that before,
Yeah,
but
take
go
a
ahead.
look at our picks, though, DW. We're ready this week. We got Jeff Gordon, the most successful road course racer ever, Marcus Ambrose, fastest guy on the track, and the potential sleeper in Robbie Gordon. Now, to find out how to get around the 11 turns and elevation changes here at Infineon Raceway, we decided to enlist a three-time champion. Now, Darrell Waltrip gets behind the wheel and takes us around this road course.
Hang on, folks. All right, folks, we're coming to get the green. Here we go. First, second, third. When we come by the start-finish line right here, you're going to catch high gear. You're going to be back in fourth gear. Boogity, 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 up this hill we're going to go. Now, this is a lot of elevation right here. And how you position yourself getting across this current, this corner right here, up into turn 2. Catch second gear right here, down into second, around the corner. Get these curves. And again, got to be in the right spot. Car comes off the corner, pushes out. Now you're lined up for turn 3, down to 3. This is a downhill dip right here. You take a big dip, hard left-hander. Now right here, 3A, you're looking at the sky. You don't see anything. Now there's the racetrack, and hopefully you're lined up for turn 4. This is where you see all the action. Another little quick passing zone, but you got to get up on the curb right here. Up on the curb, up on the curb. Don't hit the end of that wall. Drag race across here. Another good passing zone. This is where you want to get a guy. If he's a guy underneath there, you got to watch it because you cut into him here. You need this curb to make this corner. Up on the curb. Now this is critical. You got to be in the right spot as you go through these S's. Over these rumble strips, over these rumble strips. All this is positioned, so it sets you up for the next turn. If you get out of line here, messes up the whole rhythm section of the course, and that's the S's. Catch it downhill, another good downhill run here. Now you're in high gear, fourth gear, and you are flying right here. Lots of speed, a lot of downhill. You can shift, downshift here, or you can run this corner in fourth gear. Another good place to set a guy up to pass. When you head off into turn 11 here, if you can get a run on the inside of a guy, so drag race down into this corner, you got to clip these tires. These tires will be all knocked out of the way during the race, I guarantee you. You got to get around there, get real tight. Here's critical, forward bite. Put the power down, first gear, second gear, third gear. You might be able to fudge a little bit during the race and leave it in third gear and bump the rev limiter, but most of the guys go back to fourth gear here, and we're off and back up the hill again. And remember, big, big, big elevation change right here. Uphill, uphill, up, 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 all the way up to turn 2. Watch the start of the race. This is always a bottleneck right here. Guys in the back of the field, they'll start bottling up and run over each other. Quick little left-hander right here. I love this corner because of the dip. It just dips down in this turn, and you got to put a lot of wheel in it. Another great corner here because you can't see the racetrack. You got to kind of look for something out there to line up on. Down here you go. Might be able to pass here if you're lucky. This is where it gets exciting, oh man. You get up on this curb right here, this is where you'll see a lot of air. Whoa, there we go, a little air. Whoa, and then over here, and just missed the end of that wall. Drag race across here in second gear. Lower up, get up on the curb, get her up on the curb, DW. All right, you got it, you got it. Here we go. Down we go, through the S's. Again, it's rhythm. Here. You got to be in the right position to get through here with a lot of speed. Here, getting a little push air. Now you're downhill, a lot of downhill. Here you come, down into turn 10. And this baby is doing it now. We are coming through here. We can catch third or we can stay in high. but it's a great passing zone. It's also a great wrecking zone. That's Sam Hornish. He wrecked this Saturday morning in practice. Down in this corner we go. It's a drag race right here. Back down to second, all the way to first gear, right here, first gear. Come around this corner tight on the inside, tight. First gear, second gear. Wind her up. Not a lot of room to pass here, so you just don't want to lose anything. Third gear. And here we go. One more time. We got her in fourth gear, rocking and rolling back up this hill one more time. And there you go, folks. Nice little ride around Infineon Raceway, courtesy of DW. Come back and join us sometime, will you?
Record! Now you want to hear the rest of the story? DW was supposed to take 2 laps around the track out there. NASCAR actually had to put the black flag out after your 4th lap. You don't follow directions very well.
Yes, but as I told these folks, it was a new track record!
In slowness?
In a Camry hybrid. I mean, I was giving it all
exactly
I had.
how
baby.
long it takes to get around there.
I loved it, though. I could ride around out there like that all day.
But you know
what I liked? I liked that automatic transmission, what I liked.
You know what, and you did a great job of illustrating. TV doesn't do the elevation changes up and down on this racetrack is what makes it very, very difficult. Good job with that.
Now, when some of the best drivers in the business want to know how to race on a road course, often they go ask Boris Said for his insight. And Wendy is standing by with a guy who is also known somewhat as the professor of road course racing.
Yes, he sure is. And even Boris commented, how many laps is Daryl going to take? So did you learn anything from DW in watching that or critique him?
Well, I mean, I think the line was good. I was almost going to ask him maybe he should drive my California Air National Guard car, but he looked a little winded after 2 laps, so I don't know. He might have to get back in the gym.
Oh, there you go, DW. All right, Boris, it's always great to see you at these road course races. Is it more of a challenging kind of day because there's more pressure on you being a quote-unquote road course ringer, or is it just go out there and have a good time because you know you're going to be good?
The pressure is really Friday, just trying to qualify, not make a mistake, not go off the road and then go home with your head buried in the sand. So today is just about fun for me and doing the best job I can in the California Air National Guard car and hopefully not make any mistakes. In the past I've had a car that could contend for a win, but I've sped on pit road, I've spun out, I've gotten into people. So you just got to minimize those mistakes, and 110 laps is a long time around here, and the track's going to get pretty greasy and pretty slippery. So I'm excited to get out there. I'm glad the race is early this year because we don't have to wait so long. We can go out there at 12 noon, which is in a couple hours from now, so I'm psyched.
Yes, that is true. Earlier start times. Now, what do you have in store on your Cup career, Nationwide career? I know you're Grand Am racing. What is Boris Said going to be up to?
Well, hopefully I'll be in Daytona in a couple weeks, and then Watkins Glen coming up after that, and then I'm going to go to Montreal in a Nationwide car. So, I'm still always looking for sponsorship to do more, and but still I'm thankful for what I get to do so far. I mean, I love competing, even if it's only 4 or 5 times a year. It's still a blast.
Well, we're glad to have you, Boris. Good luck today. Boris Said, who has 4 top 10s in his 10 starts here at Infineon. Johnny?
All right, thanks a lot, Wendy. We appreciate that. He is definitely one of the road course aces, but also the rest of the group is pretty darn good here on the road courses, including Jeff Gordon, who's the all-time leader, and also Tony Stewart, who is second all-time in wins here. He starts second, and he has 7 career road course wins. Better watch out for smoke. He heats up in the summer.
Behind every good man, there's a good father. And that's no different in the Rudiman household. We'll show you how David and his pops have teamed up on the track and off.
So well, you need something to do up there anyway. You're not doing anything. You're just hanging out. So go out there and fix my race car.
Heading your way, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
Just down the road in San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge spans the opening of the San Francisco Bay into the Pacific Ocean, built back in 1937. Took 4 years to build at a cost of $35 million. We're all right, George, and a golden retriever by the Golden Gate Bridge. Only appropriate there. There are over 1.2 million rivets, 80,000 miles of wire on the main cables, and it is still ranking as the 9th longest suspension bridge in the world and one of the most iconic landmarks in the world as well. Now, NASCAR has a very long, rich history of father and son driver combination. It's one of the few sports where drivers have competed against their fathers and against their sons on a routine basis over the years. So on this Father's Day, let's take a look back at some of those great father and son combinations.
Fathers passing along the NASCAR tradition to their children is as old as NASCAR itself. From generation to generation, they watch, they learn, and they race. Bonds are built that last forever.
It's the Dale and Dale show. As we come off of turn 4, you know who I'm pulling for. It's Dale Jarrett. He's going to make it. Dale Jarrett's going to win the Daytona 500. Super job there, Dale. I tell you, I'm really proud of you. You did just exactly what you had to do, like I told you, right?
That's right, exactly like you told me all along, Dad. Thanks for everything. I appreciate it. You came so close back, I believe it was in '63 when you ran out of fuel. I thought we'd get this one for the whole family.
Davey Allison coming after his father. And they have enough lead. I believe it is going to be a battle between the father and son. I don't think anybody else can try it, but here he comes. They come to the stripe, and the winner of the 30th annual Great American Race, Bobby Allison. Davey Allison, his son, in second.
Well, I'd hate to describe this one because I was wanting to win it worse than he was. Well, ever since he ran so good last year, it's certainly been my dream to be able to race him for the Daytona 500, and it was a great race for me and him too.
It is again the Dale and Dale show, but a different generation of Earnhardt now in the mix.
I've seen a lot of things in my life, but I don't think I've ever seen the determination that this young man has. He's catching Jarrett, catching him in a hurry.
The fans are going absolutely crazy. Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes to the checkered flag and wins the 2000 running of the Winston. He restarted in 10th position with 8 laps to go.
And now here's the big man himself, Dale Sr., giving the hug to his son. What a great moment. What about that kid there, Senior?
Damn, I couldn't believe it. I thought I could get up there and give Jarrett some trouble, and look in my mirror and here this thing come. He adjusted it on the wall back there, it looked like, and got it running better.
And then there are the Petties, generations of NASCAR royalty who have been there since the inaugural race, shaping and leading the sport to where it stands today.
Lee Petty, 3 times NASCAR national champion, has retired from driving, not racing. He's crew chief for his son, Richard, who has taken over the wheel.
Winning is the Petty family tradition.
The Pettys, father and son, engineered the fastest Daytona ever run.
Lee, the king, and Kyle have visited Victory Lane 263 times at NASCAR's highest level.
Kyle Petty goes up on the board in the wins column. His first Winston Cup victory coming on the track where his dad dominated for so many years, up through to the mid-70s.
It's not flesh and blood, but heart, which makes us fathers and sons.
You know, one of the best quotes I ever heard was from Ned Jarrett after Dale won the championship, and he said, you know, I'm proud of that guy because you always want your son to do better than you did. Now, how about these NASCAR dads, new and about to be new dads? Matt Kenseth, Casey Mears, Elliott Sadler, Carl Edwards, Jimmy Johnson, expecting father, Jeff Gordon expecting as well, Juan Pablo and Jamie McMurray. Congratulations, guys. You're in for a great ride.
And my brother Elliott, Wyatt finally came home. He said, happy Father's Day to him for the first time. These guys have been busy on and off the racetrack.
Apparently so.
Yeah, there's a lot of new race fans being born into this sport every day. All these drivers and their wives are having the babies, and I love it. It's the future of our sport. You know, these are our fans out here, but these are all our new little fans coming along. So happy Father's Day to everybody out there, all the dads. It's a special, special feeling when that little one looks up at you and says, "Daddy, what's wrong?" That's what Jessica used to come home and say, "Daddy, what's wrong?" And it just was a whole different when Hammond would say, "Hey, man, what's wrong?"
Hammond in that conversation, I don't know how you got there, but
it puts having a child puts everything into perspective. And the cool thing is how you watch a driver, how he reacts, or if he changes on and off the racetrack once he has a child. Pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, that is fun.
Yeah.
That's interesting to watch as well.
Happens a lot, and especially special Father's Day wishes to every father out there, especially my father, Howard. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Thanks for everything. We'll be back in just a moment with another father. Wait, it's Larry Mack. How do we get Larry Mack in the show today?
Where's he going?
I don't know.
He's going to the NASCAR hauler. He's protesting that finish.
If you have ever wondered why David Rudiman and Father Buzzy run the 00 number, there's good reason. That was the balance in their checkbook when they went racing when David was growing up. But on the Speed Show NASCAR Hot Wired, we got a look at just how rich the Rudiman racing heritage has become.
If anyone in the Sprint Cup garage has paid their dues, it's David Rudiman.
cutting his teeth on Florida dirt tracks, and then making a name for himself driving asphalt super late models. Skills honed after years of helping his dad Buzzy, a short track legend himself with hundreds of wins throughout the United States and Canada.
You came home from the races on Saturday night, you got up early Sunday morning, you put the car on jack stands, you washed the bottom of it, you washed the top of it. The car better be as clean on the bottom as it was on the top. And that's always been the way my dad's done things. Even though there wasn't a lot of money, the stuff was always clean, it was always neat, and it always looked professional. And that's what he demanded.
Nearing his 70th birthday, Buzzy Rudiman is still doing what he loves, racing. And now, after years of supporting his son's need for speed, the tables have turned, so to speak.
Generally, when stuff comes back to my shop from down in Florida after my dad's raced it for a couple months, it doesn't necessarily look like it did when it left. So, which is generally why it's back here. So, but it gives me something to do, which is what he says he's doing. He said, "Well, you need something to do up there anyway. You're not doing anything. You're just hanging out. So, go out there and fix my race car."
He's actually got one of my modified frames out to his little shop now that he and Brian Patty are putting a body on it for me. I got him where he makes a little money now, so now he can support my racing habit a little bit, which he complains about occasionally.
NASCAR racing is a sport that brings people together on a weekly basis, and it was no different for the Rudimans. While some might look at it as an unconventional way to get to know somebody, Buzzy and David wouldn't change a thing.
We don't really go fishing, and we don't know how to play golf, and we've never been to a football game together, and we just, racing was our lives, and that's what we did.
We've been all over the United States racing together, in Canada. We've been in Victory Lane. We've been dead broke. We maybe didn't attend many sporting events or do stuff that you would call normal fathers and sons would do, but man, we've done a lot. We've done a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
David Rudiman has won the Coca-Cola 600. It's Rudiman's first win in his 75th career start.
And despite winning on America's top circuit, it's that bond built between a father and his son through countless late nights spent at a dusty dirt track that continues to endure today.
As father and sons go, we're really, I don't think you could be any closer.
Buzzy Rudiman, one of my favorite dads in the garage. I'm now with David Rudiman. David, I know your dad's not here today on Father's Day because he was racing, putting in hard hours on that race car. Yeah. But how cool is that relationship between you and your dad? Because a lot of the guys in the garage don't have that opportunity to share in the racing experience.
Yeah, I mean, that's something my dad and I have consistently shared over the years, is the fact that we're both, either we're both completely nuts because we just, you know how it is, Wendy. I mean, you grew up at a racetrack, you spend all your time at a racetrack, you're always around racing people. And my dad's a hardcore racer, and I mean, we have a lot of cool things in common. And I tell everybody, we never played a lot of sports together out in the yard, but we always raced together, and that was, I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Yeah, all my memories around the racetrack. What about memories that could be made today for you, David? How is your race car going to be on this road course?
I don't know, man. You know, I'm not exactly the road course ace. I think Marcus Ambrose has got that. You know, we got both ends of the field covered. I got the tail end, and Marcus has got the front right there. So he's doing a great job. But I don't know. We got a good air and stream machine. My guys have done a great job. We've had a lot of help this year from Michael McDowell and other people to try and help me be better. And we still got some work to do, though.
So what kind of advice have you taken from any of the road course veterans, someone by the initials MA standing over my shoulder?
Well, we just talked about turn 10 and stuff like that, and telling me what he does, because that seems to be an area that I'm struggling in a little bit. And just, you know, I'm bad about overdriving the corners, too hard in and too messing up the exit. So I need to work on that a little bit there. But hopefully we'll be able to evolve that during the race and get the air and stream machine up front and get a good finish for the old man, because he ran decent last night, and he expects me to do the same today.
I'm sure he does. Well, thanks, David. Good luck to you. Happy Father's Day. And I'm going to grab Marcus Ambrose here. Okay, David was telling me you're the king. We all know this. I'm possibly even looking at you to pick for the winner for today's race. No pressure at all on that. How confident do you feel?
Well, we've got 150 Kingsford and Clorix friends and employees out here cheering us on today, so there's plenty of pressure on me today, no doubt about it, and I've just got to try and keep all that in check. You know, I'm no better than anyone else out here. We've just really worked hard at the road course stuff. We've got a good brake package, we've got a good gearbox. We've done a lot of hard work. We feel like we've got something for them today, but you know, this race can go any which way. There's no certainties in life, especially racing. So we just want to go out there and put ourselves in contention for the last 20, 30 laps.
I love your attitude because you're saying you're no better than anyone else out here. But you do have experience and you do have something that you bring to the table that other drivers can't. What is it about this racetrack that makes you so comfortable?
Well, I know that I got beaten by Casey Kane and Tony Stewart last year, and those guys, you know, they haven't grown up road racing, but they're as good as anybody I've ever raced against. So there is a lot of talent in this field, and you can't come in with any confidence. You know that you've got a lot of hard work ahead of you for this race. Jan Magnussen, I've watched him in Formula One, and Matthias Ekstrom from DTM. I mean, there are some serious fast cats out here, and you know, you just got to really be calm, be patient, and just let the car come to you. You know, we've tried to set up here for the longer run. The tyres are wearing out faster here than I've ever experienced before. And I think it's going to be about tyre management. Hopefully, you know, we've got the right package.
So do you think the tires are wearing out? You said more than last year. Do you think it will end up being a shorter fuel mileage run, or I should say shorter pit stop run?
Yeah, it feels like to me the tyres are wearing out so fast that, you know, you may not want to do a fuel mileage race. You might want to, you know, do a race on tyre wear. So we're really, you know, we've got fuel mileage that can make it in a couple of stops if we really want to stretch it, or we could just, you know, go out there guns blazing and just try and beat them on pure speed and do it in 3 or 4 stops.
Good luck today on beating that third place finish from last year. Marcus Ambrose, who starts 6th, and I know his car is much, much faster than that qualifying effort that he had on Friday. Johnny?
Wendy, let's hope he gets all fizzed up after this and pops a couple of tin tops.
Oh, yes, I think he probably will.
Fizzed up after that. Let's take a look at some of the top road course performers over the years, and these are based strictly on numbers only and average finish. Tony Stewart, average finish on the road course is 7.3. Not too bad, but look at that number in the wins column. 7 for Tony Stewart and 9 for Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, I think when I look at numbers, though, I got to look at Jeff Gordon. Every category where there's a statistic, Jeff Gordon leads. Top 5s, top 10s, wins, poles, lap led. You know, Jeff Gordon should be an odds-on favorite to win this thing today. He's running really well.
Now, let us remember the great football coach, Sam Rutigliano, once said statistics are like a bikini. They show a lot, but they cover up some very vital information. You were talking earlier about Casey Kane, finishing in the 30s, 20s on a road course. Then all of a sudden he comes out and wins.
Yeah, his last several finishes here, Casey Kane, he finished 31st, 41st, 31st, 23rd, 33rd, and then last year he wins. Go figure. What do you think, driver, crew chief?
And then he comes back and sits on the pole this year with that confidence. And the cool thing to me about watching these road course drivers and talking about them, some of the guys do it so smooth. But like Marcus Ambrose, he hustles that car on every corner and gets by with it. Lots of different driving styles and mentalities when you get to a road course.
Yeah, you can do that if you know what you're doing. I mean, you can be real aggressive. When you can work the gears and the brake and keep the car under control, you can attack this course. But if you're not a great road racer, you got to back it up just a little bit.
Hey, and Marcus Ambrose brought out something we'll watch today. A good brake package is just as much about slowing down as it is about speeding up.
The other thing they said, JR, is about tires. All of a sudden, the guys are saying tires are more important than fuel. That changes everything.
Everything, really does. Yeah.
Patience, discipline, and strategy is what you will need today to win on the road course. It is time for the drivers' meeting, as many of NASCAR's best are heading inside. And when we come back, we're going to do our Sunoco performance picks and see which one of these drivers we think is going to come out on top. Today's NASCAR race is in the heart of California wine country that includes Sonoma, Napa, Mendocino, and Lake counties, home to just under 500,000 people, but 400 wineries, and it is considered the birthplace of winemaking in California. Now, we don't know anything about this. The only reason we know this is because of what other people told us. We didn't actually go to any of the wineries.
Red, red wine, flow to my head.
All right, and speaking of whining.
Make me forget that I.
Joe, that's bad.
That's the best I got.
Wait, it's a good try. We now have our Sunoco performance picks on the way, and we often have some whining going on after these. Kyle Petty is still in the lead with Daryl doing his picking for him, kept him up there. Wendy, and then 54 points back is somebody, I don't know, Kenny and Hermie. Hermie, you're in the cellar.
Yeah, but you know what? That's last week I was running a bad top 5. Now I'm earning a pretty good top 5. I'm closing the gap.
You're just setting up for the chase, right?
Yeah, but you're running out of time. I just want to tell
Still
you.
in the top 5, though.
DW, you start us off with a pick for KP.
Yeah, you know, I had to talk to Kyle about this. I said, man, it's Father's Day. You know, show your dad a little love. Go with the, you know, the RPM Motorsports team. As we go with Casey Kane. He's on the pole. It's your dad's car.
Put the King back in victory lane last year.
Yeah, but I tell you, that's the pick, man. I like track position. Number 9.
Track position is good here. Let's go to Wendy Venturini.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Now, if you've been watching any part of NASCAR race day, I think you figured out who I'm going with today, and that is Marcus Ambrose. And he is going to get the job done today. If you watch practice, folks, he's almost a second faster than the rest of the field. Now, that doesn't equate to a victory. However, I think he has all the things in place to get to victory lane today at Infineon. Johnny?
Now, Wendy, I have to laugh. You guys are either just being nice to me or you're not very smart when it comes to your pick. You guys let me go all the way down to 3rd, and you left me Jeff Gordon, the undisputed king of the road. He's got 9 victories here, and if you stick with us here on race day, coming up a little later on, we're going to show you exactly why we are picking Jeff Gordon.
How long has it been since Jeff Gordon won a race? I forget. How long?
It's been a long time, but it's going to end today.
Okay, so it's going to end today. Is that what
Yes.
you're saying? I got you.
Yes, so now I get to pick for Kenna Wallace. And Kenna Wallace is not with us this weekend. We miss you, Kenny Wallace. It's a lot quieter around here without you, but we want to make sure that you get a good pick, and you got a pretty good one in our points leader. Kevin Harvick is who Kenny Wallace says is going to win this race today, and there's no reason why he should not. Got a top 10 starting position, and he is very hungry. And then there's one more guy that needs to pick up here. Who is it?
Well, I appreciate y'all letting me have a little time to make my pick. I'm 5th, but I'm still in the game.
Yep.
And Kenny Wallace, you're close. You're in the right team with the wrong driver. Jeff Burton. I sat there and watched practice yesterday. Turn 11, that braking zone. Nobody better than Jeff Burton right there. He's ready to get off that. He's running well. He's got to get that car to victory lane. He'll do it today.
Engine number 9, he'll be sipping that good red wine when it's all over with. I'm
Just
telling
write
you.
that?
Yeah,
That's good stuff.
I just made that up.
Nicely done. Okay.
I just made that up, y'all.
So Jeff Burton was very fast in the practice, didn't qualify exactly where he wanted to, but could be one of those guys that's very interesting to watch come up through the pack. And also, fans, if you want to have your own Sunoco fuel can, visit speed.com/Sunoco and enter for a chance to win an original, the real deal, the Sunoco fuel can. Got to take another quick break here on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. But when we come back to the long and winding road of Infineon Raceway, we'll talk to some of the best in the business. Stay with us. Twists and turns since 1989. NASCAR's Top Series runs Infineon Raceway once a year for a true test of driver and machine. And that is a test that Casey Kane passed with flying colors last year as he was able to battle the road course and put Richard Petty Motorsports into victory lane for the first time in quite some time. And he starts on the pole this year with that renewed confidence. And no one has more confidence than Denny Hamlin right now. 2 wins in a row, 5 on the season. He has been squirting a lot of champagne lately and definitely could get it done again today. Want to welcome a great crowd out here to the speed stage at Infineon Raceway. We are having a wonderful time out in wine country on a beautiful sunny day. Standings after 15 of the 36 races has Kevin Harvick leading Kyle Busch by 22. Tony Stewart was the big mover last week, guys, as he moved into 11th place with a great run at Michigan.
Yeah, you know, as we go down the list, I mean, it's hard to believe that Mark Martin is 313 points behind our leader. But the other thing that's hard to believe is he's just barely hanging on to that top 12. And that's a guy that finished second in the championship last year and had like 5 or 6, what did he have, 5 wins last year. So I'm surprised Mark is so far down. But as we look at the next 12, that's where it gets interesting.
Yeah, look at 13th, Clint Boyer. He's been fast, not had the results he wanted. Dale Earnhardt Jr. showing some signs of life. DW and Ryan Newman, not fast, but not consistent.
Well, there's no question the fans love it out here in Sonoma. Let's hear what some of the drivers have to say about racing on this road course.
We just got to keep digging. You know, this is not our forte, road course racing. I feel like I'm a solid road course racer, but I'm not a top 5, guy out there. I've really got to have an extremely fast race car, and things go my way and great fuel mileage for me to win one of these races. So we come here, we think about just getting a top 5, similar to what we did last year. And if that opportunity opens itself, especially with double file restarts at the end of these races, you never know where you can find yourself with 1 lap to go.
I feel, I mean, you know, we always are excited about coming to the road courses, so it's something that I enjoy, and you know, we put some effort into to make sure that we have the right cars and pieces. But you know, you never know when you're right and when you're wrong, and we think we're going to be competitive, but you never know. Everybody's pretty good at road racing, and I think enjoys it a lot more than I used to.
Well, I mean, we always like coming out here. This is a place I always feel like we got an opportunity to make ground. So, you know, with 2 top 5s in a row, it's obvious. I don't know why everybody asks us that, because they already know the answer to that. So I think you guys already know what that means.
I think we know what it means. Tony Stewart is a great road course racer, but you know what? Even Tony, Jeff Gordon, the greatest in the business, can find out that you can run, Herman. You can run 100 perfect laps here. You can run 98 perfect laps. It takes one to mess your whole day up.
And it doesn't have to be your fault, you know, unfortunately. I mean, you get in the corner, maybe a little bit to light one time to maybe check up with somebody in front of you. You get off the racetrack, and we talked about it. Always a lot of cars. This racetrack is spread out so much. A lot of cars on the lead lap. You can go from the front of the pack and be a real heartbreaker, DW, when it's all said and done.
Yeah, what you try to do if you're Denny Hamlin, for instance, is you capitalize on Pocono. You know you're good at Pocono, so you capitalize there, you get the win. You come to a road course, it's not really my cup of tea. It's not my forte. You minimize here. Cut your losses. Don't beat yourself. Drive conservatively. Get a decent finish. That's how you'll win the championship.
And also, one thing to remember for all the guys in the points, it's a lot of strange faces that don't race every week on the racetrack today. And as a driver, you're questioning, how do I race this guy? What's he going to do? I don't know this guy's tendencies. That could play into play as well.
Bit of a logistical nightmare for 3 of NASCAR's top drivers, Brad Keselowski, Paul Menard, and Carl Edwards. They traveled over 5,000 miles this weekend in between the Nationwide Series, and also Carl ended up coming up with a win, so it was definitely worth the while for Carl. But Brad Keselowski, Paul Menard, what do you think, guys? Should you do that? Do you need to do that?
Oh, I think, you know, if you're Carl Edwards, it was well worth the effort. I'd love to have my driver coming back from a day like Carl had yesterday and hopping in the car. He's coming off a win. He's got momentum. He's excited. And he might have learned something. He might have learned some things yesterday at that Nationwide race that they could apply to the car today and help him that much more. So I like what Carl did yesterday. If you win, it's great. If you don't, well, it's questionable.
But on the flip side of that, he missed final practice. You know, and if he goes out here today and gets a top 5, all is well. But if he goes out there today and doesn't run very good and finishes 25th, then Bob Osborne may have a different opinion of where Carl's focus needs to be. But all depends on how he ends up today.
Drivers drive, crew chiefs crew, and the driver likes to drive. So if he's off racing somewhere and doing well, I like that.
And you can sleep on the airplane, right?
You can sleep all the way home.
Sure
with champagne all over you. Wine today, champagne yesterday.
Yeah, no whining after the race, because we might see some of that. We're going to take another quick break here on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. Carl Edwards made it on time to the drivers' meeting, but pulled in, well, on time. That's all that matters. We'll be back in just a moment. Barrett-Jackson, the world's greatest collector car auction, will be on speed and continuing today live from Orange County. Hundreds of restored and rare cars will be auctioned off to the highest bidders. See if your dream car rolls up on the auction block. Barrett-Jackson, Orange County, continues today, 3 Eastern, exclusively on speed. And Kyle Busch pulled off an exclusive feat just a couple years ago. He became one of a very few groups of drivers, that actually was able to conquer both road courses and sweep them in a season, and it all started here at Infineon.
You can start to see the first of the many vineyards that seemingly stretch endlessly for here. And today, these drivers will try to squeeze everything out of their cars, much like these Ventures do, to make their product today.
We're getting set to go. 110 laps in the Toyota Save Mart 350. The green flag is out. Robbie Gordon has really been making the moves, Doug. He's trying to make all of the passes he can, going down into turn number 11.
Clear by 2, Rob. Take care of your stuff. I'm going so slow, it's ridiculous.
Still clear there, all clear. He's looking inside. He's coming inside there. He's got a nose right there.
Jimmy Johnson went to the inside of Casey Kane going down into turn 11. He set him up.
Backwarding forward. Doing a good job. Go easy on the brakes. Easy on the brakes. Keep the tire round. Stumbles when I get on the gas. 10-4 on the carburation, dude. You're only a couple tenths off the leader. You're doing a good job.
Marcos Ambrose having a great run here today at Infineon Raceway.
It's full forward bod, more side bod.
10-4, buddy. I'll work on the power down right here, okay?
The front's not getting any worse, just the back's giving up more. Car's tighter everywhere. I can't change directions no more. Easy here, come on. Stay low and dig, stay low and dig, stay low and dig. Come on, 18's beside you. This is the point in the race where it sucks. Just nothing right now.
It's a drag race. I haven't seen this before, but beautiful job by Gilliland. He takes the third spot.
I was impressed with that 38. He actually had more left than I thought he did.
I said, well, I'm going to tell you what. He's fast. Not good, bud. 3.5 second lead.
We've got a car spinning off course. That is the Marcos Ambrose machine.
21 finally got it.
Yeah, he deserved it, probably. When he hit me, I broke the gearbox.
All right. Well, yeah, we're done.
Harvick goes in. Harvick just took out 4 guys. Kyle Busch a commanding lead, very smooth through turn number 2. Now he sets himself up in the way here at Infineon.
All right, white flag right here. Driving away there, bud.
Kyle Busch started 30th. He leads the most laps, and he will win the Toyota Save Mark 350.
You boys are number 1. Good job, guys. Everybody on this race team way to rebound from bad start of the weekend.
And Kyle Busch has definitely been on a roll this season, gaining the most points than any other driver in the last 6 races. Does that make a difference, Kyle? I'm sure it does a lot for your confidence, but it definitely helps to have momentum.
It does, you know, and we'd love to keep the momentum going, especially into the chase and through the chase. But, you know, right now it's going to be a tough stretch with all the races we've got coming up, coast to coast, border to border. But it's going to be fun. You know, it's going to bring out some good teams and see what we could have. And we made some wholesale changes this morning, so we don't know what we've got for our car, but hoping the pedigree Camry is a lot better than maybe what it was yesterday, and we could have a good shot at getting a good solid finish today.
I was going to ask you about that, how the road course was going to deal with you today, because 27th qualifying, but then you were 11th in happy hour. So did you start on some of those wholesale changes yesterday in happy hour?
We tried, you know, we just wasn't able to get them all in there. It was a big change this morning, so we'll see how it goes. But, you know, I felt like our car was about a 10th place car. That's about it, you know, 10th to 15th actually. So we made some big changes to try to get it up there to be at least a 5th to 10th place car, so we can try to see how the strategy plays out, how the wrecks happen and all that stuff, try to stay out of those.
Forward bite seems to be the key words this weekend. Would you agree with that?
Oh, completely. I mean, everybody, for some reason they say this, it's the same tire, but it's a different decode number, and it's thrown us for a loop, that's for sure, since coming in here.
All right, now I hear, the rumor has it, this morning you were wearing your pink fire suit for the sponsor fire. You got dressed up for another interview. I'm very disappointed, if you look at our monitor, that you did not keep it on for my interview. You're wearing jeans, Kyle.
Well, I could have, but, you know, Pedigree would probably like me to wear their suit. But even though you do have kittens, bunnies, and baby seals and everything, I'm sure they have food for that too. But, you know, for us, we're real excited about it. Sponsor Fire 2 starts today. Everybody can go to toyotaracing.com, enter your special paint schemes and everything. But for our special announcement, I will be wearing the pink bunnies, kittens, and baby seals suit and driving the pink car at the Richmond Nationwide race in the fall.
Yes, I know fans just love to hear that. Well, good luck today, Kyle, and we're glad that you're not wearing it today, but we'll look forward to it in Richmond. Johnny, I love you.
Wendy, who doesn't
No, write
love
that on
love?
the spoiler. Write that on the spoiler.
Yeah. I love love. I love love. Who doesn't love love? The Sponsor Fire program is going on, just like Kyle said. They're starting the second round of it. You can get your own design on the race car simply by visiting toyotaracing.com. Create the cup car of your dreams. The grand prize is a trip to the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race at Phoenix, where the winning design will be displayed. And DW, I'm sure you will have an entry in there.
Oh, yeah. No, but this has been one of the most successful programs that Toyota's come up with, involving the fans, letting them design the cars. We saw prayers for Carson, that car, and now Kyle going to run the baby, bunny, seal, dog, kitten car at, you know who else drove a pink car? Dale Earnhardt.
He did.
Senior.
He did, that is true.
Back in the 70s, he had a pink car. So tough guys do drive pink cars.
And you know what? When you think about Kyle Busch driving on the racetrack, probably the last thing you should think about are kittens, bunnies, puppy dogs, and things like that, and baby seals. Because he doesn't drive like that at all. He's pretty aggressive. More like the pit bull out there behind the wheel, I think. When we come back, we'll talk to the drivers of Red Bull Racing, couple of great road course racers behind the wheels of those two cars today. We'll talk to them when we come back.
He may be older, wiser, and adept at changing diapers, but there's still plenty of competitive fire burning deep down. JR catches up with JG, who gives us the scoop on family, racing, and the desire to win.
Managing the time with my family and racing is going to be crucial.
Coming at you, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
San Francisco, California is the 4th largest city in California, the 12th largest city in the United States. It's home to more than 800,000 people and a popular international tourist destination. They got the Golden Gate Bridge, Fisherman's Wharf, and also they have the Sea Lions at Pier number 39. Listen to them, DW. Sounds like some of the guys on the speed crew, how they were talking last night.
They need to work out a little bit more. Not in very good shape.
And also, let's not forget Alcatraz Island, a very famous international landmark as well. It is also known worldwide for its very famous cable car system as well. And Red Bull Racing is also known worldwide as a force in all different types of extreme sports and racing as well. If they have a shot to turn things around, they got 2 great road course drivers behind the wheel of their 2 cars today. Let's go to Wendy Venturini.
Well, thank you, Johnny. And yes, if you're just tuning in to NASCAR coverage for the weekend, we need to catch you up to some serious Red Bull updates, because filling in, of course, for Brian Vickers is Matthias Ekstrom for this weekend at Infineon Raceway. Matthias, welcome to NASCAR. What have you experienced so far this weekend that's kind of been out of this world?
Yeah, I mean, I've been mainly trying NASCAR as a dummy from the beginning. Everything what you can imagine, like 1 hour practice, walking the track, having the 1 lap qualifying, having some happy hour practice racing with all those guys, although it's even practice. I mean, it's a lot more cars that I'm used to around the track, and also the way the cars handle is way different. So I must say, I go way in good hands with the Red Bull team, and also got some really good advice from Scott, but still it takes a man to drive this car.
I heard Scott just tell you, if you can cut back on the Swedish accent and pick up on the American terminology, so that's not working, is it?
Yeah, I mean, we have been making some jokes, because I speak some English that's normal in Europe, but there's some special words, and I know some sayings I struggle to understand in the beginning, but I get them slowly.
Well, it sounds very good to me. I think I would struggle listening to Scott speak sometimes, because Scott speaks your terminology sometimes. Tell us the story. How do you guys know each other? Because this is a great relationship here.
We actually met, I think I must have been 19 or 20 when I first kind of came into the Red Bull family. He had already been a couple years in racing in the DTM series, and we sort of met as, 2 junior Red Bull athletes, and we just always kind of stayed in touch, and throughout the years, and for him to come back over here and sort of experience all the things that I did for the first time, coming from open wheel racing into this experience has been a blast. Just sort of watched him going through the same exact thoughts and the same opinions that I did when I first came here.
So what advice, what's been the best advice that you've been able to give him? Because you were the American driver going over to Europe to drive, and now it's the opposite. You guys have swapped.
Yeah, I told him, I got him into a good saying. It was grip it and rip it. And, that's some more American terminology that I'm trying to throw his way so he can get in the feel of things.
How is the car going to be for today for Red Bull Racing?
We'll see. I think ours will be really similar to what it was in practice, and I have a feeling that his isn't going to be anywhere close to what it was in practice. I think they're kind of swinging to the fences for the race to try to learn something, which is good because, I mean, being able to bring someone in from the outside to come in for one race and to be able to try a bunch of things that maybe is a little bit outside the box or that you wouldn't try, it's going to be good for the whole team.
Well, good luck to you, Scott, today. And Matthias, one last question for you. What would make today a successful today in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, driving smart, being quick, and stay trouble-free until then, and hope for a very good result.
All right, well, good to see you in the NASCAR garage, and Matthias Ekstrom filling in for Brian Vickers for just this one race. And then, of course, Reed Sorensen, Johnny, will take over next week.
Wendy, thanks a lot. Reed Sorensen, the plan for him is to run 3 races in that Red Bull car. And, guys, this team has seen ups and downs so far this season. Of course, the biggest down, the loss of Brian Vickers to illness. That was a big blow to that team, but they've been trying to tread water and trying to make changes. They've been trying to do stuff to get better.
Yeah, there's some things going on over there that would make you say, Elton Sawyer been there from the get-go. He's the competition director. He's now been he's leaving the team. You lost your leader in Brian Vickers. So there's a lot of things, and I think that the Red Bull people, when you look at their Formula One program, I mean, they are kicking butt in Formula One, and I'm sure they're saying, how come we're not kicking butt in NASCAR? So there's a lot of things going on over there. Jay Fry's a great leader, team manager. I'm sure he'll pull it all together, but there's a lot of distractions, and the cars just have not been running very good.
They have not, and they've had a crew chief swap, trying everything that you see teams do when they're on the edge of kind of that panic mode. I mean, and they're used to having success, as DW says, and they're wanting to have that success, in NASCAR, and they just haven't had it. Since Brian Vickers made the chase, they kind of leveled off and then been struggling to try to find that consistency. So hopefully today will be a good day for them.
Yeah, both cars are starting way back. I mean, Ekstrom's in 38th and Scott Speed's in 23rd. The average finish for to win this race is top 10, 76% of the time. So you're that far back. It did happen. Juan Pablo started 32nd and won this race 2 years ago. It can happen, but these guys have got their work cut out for them.
And it's going to be interesting to see him come up through the field. Now, normally when you go to a race on a weekend, you say Gordon's going to win. People think you're talking about Jeff. But there's two guys with the last name of Gordon that could potentially win here, and we're going to talk to one of them when we come back. Friday, NASCAR rides into the American Northeast, Loudon, New Hampshire, which, by the way, is just down the road from Stowe, Vermont, home of Ken Squire. We are there with live Sprint Cup qualifying and the Ultimate Friday Night House Party NASCAR trackside. Live speed coverage from New Hampshire begins Friday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern with NASCAR Live. Now, earlier today, our good friend Darrell Waltrip told us you better watch out for driver number 7 today. He always comes to the road course with a great amount of confidence, and if this guy keeps it on the road, there might be no stopping him. Right, Wendy Venturini?
No, absolutely. And Robbie said, watch out for me, meaning that's a good thing that you're going to be the competitive car out there today. Now, Robbie, what is it about this racetrack? Is this the one racetrack, obviously Watkins Glen, that you look forward to coming to?
Well, we obviously put a lot of effort into it. Not that we don't put a lot of effort into all of our other programs, but we run ovals all the time. When you go road racing, if you can do a couple more tests or a little more preparation, it'll put you ahead. Running 2 cars here this weekend, obviously, that helped me gathering some information yesterday with PJ. I think we're pretty good on the long run. We couldn't do that lap that Marcus did as far as a fast lap in practice, but I really wasn't worried about it because every one of our laps was a low 18, even on old tires. So I feel like we're in good shape.
You have a ton of experience at road courses. What makes this track, what's the most important thing about drivability on this racetrack?
Well, not to give any secrets away, there's a lot of things that are important, but I think the things that hung us out the last couple of years, fuel mileage. So we've gone to work on fuel mileage, and sure enough, we'll go to work on fuel mileage, and it'll be a full-on sprint race. But that's the way it works, and I think that we've got enough fuel mileage built into it. Provided the plan goes accordingly, we can be in good shape. The only reason, not to say the only reason we didn't win, but we were in a good position to win last year, and the caution just came out and caught us out. Tires do fall off, but I think the track position's worth more than the tires.
A few drivers have told me that the tires are falling off faster than they did last year. Did you experience that this weekend?
Well, I think one of the things that we're not getting to do with our race cars is last year we had end fences on our rear wings. You were able to turn both wickers to the left side. The left side of the car doesn't have a lot of side force, so it's always pretty loose. So I think guys are struggling with left side bite and forward bite, and that's something that we worked really hard on throughout our testing and preparation for Sonoma.
Good. Well, good luck today, Robbie. Thanks for joining us on race day. And Robbie Gordon will start from 16th. Johnny?
Wendy, when you talk to Robbie Gordon about racing on the road course, you hear what's called PMA. That's positive mental attitude, a very important thing here. And as Joey Logano takes us on our Home Depot hot lap, he tells us how mental attitude and also a very unique way to train for this racetrack is what he goes through.
Hey, I'm Joey Logano with your Home Depot Hot Lap. This week we're here in Sonoma, very tricky little racetrack. For me, it's the second time I've been here, so I still have a lot to learn about this place. For me, I go on a simulator a lot before I got here, pick my teammates' brains a lot, just trying to see what they do. I came out here actually a couple years ago and drove an ASA car with Chris Cook and learned a lot with that. So all that really brings in a lot of confidence. This sport is big on confidence. You gotta, in any sport really, to be really on your A game and knowing you can do it. So that really helps out with all that. So that's definitely a big deal here when you come to a road course for the first time. So that's your Home Depot hot lap, and I want to wish all the fathers happy Father's Day out there.
Joey, thanks a lot. Hermie, what was your take on the road course racing? Did you like it when you were doing it?
I loved it. When I grew up, in a very rural area in Virginia, and we had those roads going to school every day. And Elliot, my brother's got, 5 top 10s and 11 starts here. You either a lot of other tracks. You have to have that attitude. You have to want to go to the road courses to be successful. If you just go to get by, you just get by.
Yeah, you know, I think the thing like Joey Logano's got Zippy in his pit, Greg Zippadelli, that's a big advantage for a young driver with limited experience here. The other thing I like about Robbie Gordon today is he's now got Gene Need over there as his crew chief. He and Larry Carter, who Larry's had a lot of success in this sport. I think that's the key to Robbie having a great day today. They're well prepared. They got 2 cars in the race, somebody else to draw information from. I really feel good about Robbie Gordon today. I think he's going to have a great run.
Well, let us see what happens on the racetrack today. And you know what? There's a lot of other stuff going on here around this racetrack. Of course, we're in the middle of wine country. It is an absolutely beautiful day out here. And you know what? There's a little air show going on top of us. That's some precision flying right there. And we'll be back with much more of NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We are just up the road from San Francisco. All the scenic places down there, but one of the most scenic is the Infineon Raceway up here in California's wine country. The long and winding road of Infineon Raceway can go a long way towards propelling someone to a championship or just into the chase here in the Sprint Cup Series. The season of 2010 is now 16 races old, and we are getting closer and closer to the cutoff to where we decide who runs for a championship and who doesn't get to, who gets left out. Let's take a look at the drivers trending up or trending down. You see David Rudiman, well, he's been trending upward lately, as has Tony Stewart and also Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, you know, I'm really impressed with the run that Greg Biffle's been making here lately. And certainly, you know, Junior has got a little momentum coming off of that good finish last week at Michigan. So we'll see what happens today.
Once again, we have about 1 race worth of points in between 19th and 13th, just 1 race. So we can see big movement in that upward or downward trend in just a matter of 1 weekend.
And you will see big movement today because we've got guys that are accustomed to this kind of racing. They put extra effort into this kind of racing, and you got other guys that, you know, just don't have that experience. And sometimes when you drive over your head or try to get that extra little bit, it can bite you at a place like this.
It's so long around the track, it takes, you know, about a minute to get around this joint. So if you got problems, you can come into pits, work on it, and stay on the lead lap. A lot of cars always finish this race. We've had races where 40 cars have finished it. Last year, 36 finished it. That's bad news if you have trouble early, because that means you're going to get a terrible finish.
Yeah, now Tony Stewart is the 2nd most successful driver on the road course in NASCAR history. He has just moved his way up into the top 12 in points as of right now, but he's still not really happy, especially when he's answering questions from the media.
Would you be in favor of adding a road course to the chase, and would that be a more of a testament or a test to overall driver skill to have a race like that?
I'm still trying to get them to put a dirt race in the chase, so that's going to be my focus before I worry about getting a road course in the chase.
But would you be in favor of that?
I'd be in favor of getting a dirt race first. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Dude, I've answered that question every year that we've come here, and you're still asking the same stupid question. So, yeah, it's the same thing as I said last year when somebody asked me the same question about it. My opinion didn't change.
Would it be a better test?
Who knows? I don't know. Who cares? I don't have opinions. I just want to go drive my race car. That's all I want to worry about. I don't want to worry about theorizing. I don't want to even have opinions. My opinions end up getting me in trouble because of you guys. So it's easier for me to not have opinions. It's easier for me just to go drive my race car and enjoy my day doing that.
Thank goodness for having Tony Stewart around the racetrack. He keeps us in line.
Smoke was smoking, wasn't he?
Happy boy. Another thing about Smoke, though, is, Hermie, when we get to this stretch of the season, there's something about him. And again, I'm sure he doesn't like answering this question either because we ask it over and over. What is it about Tony Stewart and these summer months? And when he doesn't yell at you, he says, I like the slippery racetrack.
Well, I think it comes from his background. I mean, the dude can wheel a car on dirt. Any kind of race car he's ever been in, he knows how to hang it out and keep that car control. And I don't think it's by chance. I really think that he excels on slick racetrack.
Yeah, if you ever go to Eldora and watch the race on, like we had up there a few weeks ago, the Prelude to the Dream, if you watch Tony Stewart on dirt, you will totally understand, like Hermie said, why he is so good on a hot, slick, slimy racetrack. He likes that.
Hey, the guys that run good with this new style car, what's loose to them, to everybody else, is not loose to them. It's perfect.
This car rides on the right rear. Everything happens with this car happens off the right rear. Big spring in the right rear, turn the car with the rear of the car. That's a dirt track's dream. That's a dirt track driver's dream. That's how they live.
Yep. And there is a very good chance we will be talking to Tony Stewart after this race in Victory Lane because he's one of the most successful ever, and he is great at this racetrack, and he has confidence on his side as well. Be sure to tune into the NASCAR Race Hub this week. Tomorrow, the one and only show that delivers the drivers, crew chiefs, and the latest news and information, and expert analysis from the epicenter of NASCAR, Charlotte, North Carolina. Don't miss the NASCAR Race Hub presented by Hooters tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern, only on Speed. Throughout Jeff Gordon's NASCAR career, he has been booed and cheered, hated and revered. But this four-time champion is still motivated, perhaps now more than ever, by things and people on and off the racetrack. On Father's Day, this expecting father still has the fire burning inside.
So when you look right now, Jeff, with how good the foundation's going, you got one kid and one kid on the way, back in championship form again, which a lot of observers will tell you. Life has to be very good right now.
Life is not bad. You know, it's hectic, and I like hectic. Busy is good, right? And I can't imagine what it's going to be like when our little boy finally gets here. And I know there's going to be a lot of sleepless nights, and so managing the time with my family and racing is going to be crucial, you know, crucial to our championship drive this year. This really completes us as a family. We don't want more than two, and I don't know, that might change down the road, but you know, to have a boy and a girl, to me is just the ultimate. It inspires me with my work to want to do more for our foundation, to want to help more kids out, but it also makes me want to be a successful race car driver, even more so.
You finished third in points last year. Championship contender this year, have probably, you know, been in position to win, you know, at a point half the races. And there's people out there saying, oh, you know, Jeff Gordon's past his prime. Jeff Gordon can't get it done anymore. Is that, in a way, being a victim of your own success?
Yeah, in some ways it is. And you know, that's the kind of pressure that I felt like has been on the 24 team since we won our third championship. That expectation and that buildup has been there, and I think it's more within ourselves of the weight that we put on our shoulders to go out there and succeed and live up to those expectations than even with the media or the fans. In some ways, we made it look too easy at the beginning, and it's not. Just like the 48, you know, they've clicked in a way that it makes it look easy, and actually for them, it probably seems kind of easy. And for me, you know, what we've had to do in the last 5 or 6 years has really been the toughest times in my career as a race car driver, but has made me a much, much better race car driver than I was when I won the championships.
Did people make too much out of these so-called tiff between you and Jimmy? When you have two four-time champions get out there, that's 8 champions between the two of you. If you guys say you're going at it, you know, I think people are going to probably make a little bit more out of it than it really is.
I think the media handled it right. They had to. You know, they had to take that and run with it. So I didn't expect anything different. I feel like the 24 team is back this year, and we're showing that strength on the track. And in the first time since I can really remember, you know, we've been able to go head-to-head with the 48 team. And I think everybody right now, with as dominant as they've been, wants to be able to do that. I hope that we battle it out and have some fierce battles out there on the track a lot more this year. But I think that how we're going to handle it is what we learned through that situation, because when Rick Hendrick gets involved, you know, then we all kind of say, all right, this was interesting and exciting at times and fun at times and not so fun at times, but here's how we're going to handle it going forward.
Now, if you look across the board of the drivers that are out there on the racetrack right now, when you add up championships, wins, poles, and other accomplishments on and off the track, there's nobody out there that's done more than you right now. What motivates you to keep on striving and to keep going for that 5th championship? What's the motivation for you to keep achieving on the track?
You know, drivers and everybody I've seen throughout my career, they go through different cycles. You know, when you first come into the sport, you're hungry. You look at all of them. I mean, you know, Tony Stewart, Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Jr., everybody, when they first come in and they're in that good position, they thrive. And then other than Jimmy, you know, it seems to taper off. to me, the drivers that continue to win races and championships and really have a long career, people like Mark Martin, are the ones that know how to dig and find themselves in that desire that got them there. And that's that transition that I feel like I've gone through in the last couple of years. You know, finishing third last year, great year, but that really motivated and fired me up and this entire team to go out there and know that you know, we can do better than that, and we can compete for the championship. And you got to have that passion and that drive and that hunger, and that's what's back, I feel like, for me this year.
The undisputed king of the road, Jeff Gordon, leads all drivers with 9 victories on the road course, certainly a future Hall of Famer. Now, when the Hall of Fame was opened, NASCAR CEO Brian France mentioned the name of Raymond Parks. He was one of the few guys that was at that Streamline Motel meeting. Unfortunately, we lost Raymond Parks this morning, DW, and he just meant so much to this sport and touched so many people in it.
Yeah, our sport has been so blessed to have some of the original pioneers still around that you could talk to, that you could go up and greet and meet. Our fans have been so fortunate that even you think back to the Petties, they were at the first NASCAR race. So we've been blessed with all these great car owners, great drivers. Raymond Parks, every time I would see him, and I saw him in Daytona back in February, and I just thought about, this is a national treasure. This man should have one of those plaques and he will have in the Hall of Fame. That goes around with him, because he had done so much, created so much goodwill for the sport. He's a great gentleman. Everybody loved him. I know that it's a big loss to our sport and to his family.
Yeah, it certainly is, and we want to send our best wishes out to his family today. Raymond Parks was 96, and he certainly will be missed around this NASCAR community, one of the true founding fathers of the sport of NASCAR.
NASCAR Race Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And brought to you in part by Tornadoes. Bold is how we roll.
Welcome back, everyone, to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, coming to you live from the Infineon Raceway in Sonoma, California. It does not matter where you are during the Sprint Cup season. Chances are you're going to run into an old friend at the racetrack, and that's exactly what has happened to Wendy Venturini. Wendy?
Yes, I sure have. I'm with Robin Meade with Morning Express, who is singing the national anthem today. You've come all the way from Atlanta. Are you at all nervous? Because have you done this recently?
No, it's been at least a decade since I've done the national anthem. Now, I sing all the time, go up to Nashville and do some songwriting and recording, but the anthem is a different beast, right? You know, it's all about respect. You want to remember the words and transport the audience to a place where they can pay homage to our flag and our nation before we start this big race.
And timing the flyover, too. That's always big.
You know, yeah, yesterday we timed it, and both times I sang it at 1:30, which sounds so short, right? And you wonder, when the crowd's around, will I go too long? Will the flyover happen at the end, or will it happen like somewhere in the middle? So hopefully it'll all come about in the right way.
No, I turn on the TV in the morning. That's how I get my news started with you. So the word of the day, the NASCAR word of the day, we've been watching it. What's been the craziest word of the day from some of these drivers that you've seen?
And we've had some crazy words of the day. One of them almost sounded dirty. What's been our craziest word of the day? My team standing over here. Like, and by the way, they were never one word. It was always like a phrase, right? Because it's NASCAR. They're trying to think. Well, I can think of spoiler, but that's not like the juicy ones. Carl Edwards had to say one that just made me giggle. Like when he said it, I was like,
could have been wedge, could have been anything.
Wedge. I think wedge was one of them. Yes, I think, good job. Yes. So it was something called Up to Speed with Robin Meade, and it was NASCAR word of the day because our viewers are the same viewers as you, and they enjoyed it. So.
And you've come to the racetrack before, so you're going to look forward to this, huh?
Yeah, I've been to Chicago and Atlanta and Loudon and now here. So, but I've never done the national anthem at a NASCAR event. So, can you give me any tips here?
No, I absolutely cannot. I cannot sing either. So, well, good luck today. Don't flub the words.
No, I got it. I got it right here. And you know, here's a little secret. I'll just tell the Speed Channel people, and that is, I did write out the words on a 3x5 card. Not that I don't already have them memorized from the second grade, but there's something about if you know you have a fallback, then you won't have that stupid attack.
And hopefully you won't have to use it. Well, good luck to Robin Meade joining us on NASCAR Race Day. Johnny?
Wendy, thanks a lot. A couple other terms that aren't dirty in any way, shape, or form are strategy, patience, and having a good game plan here at the road course. And Jimmy Johnson has yet to win on one of these road courses, but again, that could all change today. Let's go to crew chief, the Chad Knaus, for our Sunoco pit strategy of the week.
Twists and turns, rights and lefts, ups and downs, that's going to be the name of the game this weekend, and not only for the drivers but for the crew chiefs as well. You have to realize there's a little bit of a different mentality you have to have this weekend. Typically, normal road course, you work your fuel strategy from the end of the race to the middle to the end. You want to pit twice, and that's it, end of story, right? Well, a little different scenario. You have to remember we've got 3 attempts at a green-white checker here for the finish. That means you're going to have 2 laps guaranteed for each green-white checker, and then whatever caution laps you got in between there. You could tack on another 5, 10, maybe 15 laps of racing on top of the advertised length here, just if that starts to happen. Double file restarts, the guys get punched up, get aggressive. You always see people getting off track in turn 2, into turn 4, 7, and definitely going through 10 here. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all works out. Go about 36 laps in a Sunoco fuel run, but I can assure you, the guy that's out front with great track position at the end of the race is going to be sitting pretty.
After the checkered flag is waved, be sure to check out NASCAR Victory Lane, fueled by Sunoco, and catch all of the race highlights in raw emotion straight from Victory Lane. Also, go to speedtv.com, keyword Sunoco, to enter for your chance to win an autographed flag signed by the winner of today's race. And guys, whoever wins this race is going to have patience. They're going to have strategy, but they're also going to have a little luck on their side. We've seen Juan Pablo come from the back of the pack to the front, and we've seen guys start out at the front and run away the whole day.
Yeah, a few things to watch today. The leader of the most laps here, 6 out of the last 7 times, has won a top 10 starting position 76% of the time. Don't exceed your talent level. In other words, don't beat yourself. If you know you're in a bad spot, if you know you're over your head, back it down. That's how you get a good finish here.
And I want to look at, we always have comers and goers we talk about, because qualifying is 1 lap. The race is about that rhythm, getting in that flow. You got Marcus Ambrose qualified 6th. Everybody's talking about the class of the field. Can he get to the front? How long would it take? How about some of these guys starting further back? Jamie McMurray's usually good here. He's back 25th. Kyle Busch, we talked to him. He's starting 27th. Jeff Burton starting 30th. How do these guys get to the front? How much can they get done on the racetrack, and how much of it is it, pit strategy and getting that track position?
Yeah, and another thing, we've heard the guys talk about how important the tires are. So you're not going to do a two-tire strategy today to get track position. So you're going to have to drive it up. You're going to have to suck it up and get up there if you want to win this race.
2 things to keep an eye on as well: double file restarts, and also a possibility of 3 attempts at a green-white checker. Now, if you're looking at that and you're starting to time your fuel, seeing how your fuel's going to manage, you got to keep that into consideration, or you could be left on the back part of the racetrack.
You got to, because if you have 1 attempt at a green-white checker, chances are you're going to have at least 2 attempts at a green-white checker. And as a crew chief, you cannot leave your driver on the racetrack and run him out of gas.
Ideally, we will have no green-white checker. Yeah. Ideally, it'll finish under, at the distance it's supposed to. But if we do, you're going to see some guys sitting on top of those pit boxes. They're going to be sweating bullets.
Roughly speaking, a little less than half of the races this year have gone into NASCAR's version of the overtime. Let's go down now for final thoughts from Wendy Venturini.
Thanks, Johnny. I like DW's advice. Don't exceed the talent level. That's pretty much us on NASCAR Race Day. All right, I'm positioned on pit road. The hairpin turn 11 is right behind me. That's where a lot of action happens. I like it because it's a tight turn. People tend to bump into each other. Now they'll come down pit road right here. This is the half side of pit road. Kurt Busch is in that pit stall right in front of the media center, the building behind me. This is where the media will watch the race. And if we turn around, Bruno's going to show you the other half of pit road and the stands. This is a great view for the fans to get up close. But of course, remember, race fans, we do not pit backwards here at Infineon. That is when we get to Watkins Glen later on in the year. Johnny?
Yes, so many twists and turns on and off the racetrack this week. Guys, what do you think we're going to see? Is it going to be a new winner this time?
Well, the last 5 races, we've had 5 different winners, so that wouldn't surprise me. But, again, I just like track position. I like the 9 car to take it to the house.
And remember, you got 2 or maybe 3 spotters. A lot of radio traffic today. Woo. Spotters will be in play today.
Driving me crazy. I'm going to pour you a glass of wine. I'm going to cut you some cheese. I'm going to Tennessee.
All right, thank you, DW. We appreciate it. Thanks to Hermie Sadler, Darrell Waltrip, Wendy Venturini, and everybody who joined us on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. We got the twists and turns of the road course coming your way, and one driver's going to be in Victory Lane with us tonight, fueled by Sunoco at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So long, everybody.